No idea yet. I
You
might
guys
go
have
to. You know
a-
what? I might go to the Costa's Euros.
Where is that?
West Duluth. I'm Superior. They got one.
Is it good? I don't think.
It.
Is
Do
it
you-
better than Coney Island?
Their Euros?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not a huge Euro fan though.
Right.
It's okay.
They're good Euros. They're pretty good Euros. But
It's kind of like
she was.
it's like a European taco, I think. A Euro is. We're live right now, by the way. We're on it. Hello there.
Exception, you just wake up in a podcast.
I know. We're in the podcast world all of a sudden. Welcome to the High Five with Gage Hartman. I'm here with my good friend Ben Cullen. Excited to be here with Ben. Ben is let's high five it out first of all. Wham. That was kind of.
Is that what you do with everybody?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
you-
High
you
Five
do
with
that?
Gage
Okay,
Hartman. It's the
right.
name of the show.
All right.
Yeah, here, like I said, Ben Cullen. Ben's a good friend of mine. He's currently a painter, very good at it, and he also hails from Northern Ireland, Belfast, right?
Belfast.
Belfast.
Just Belfast.
Belfast.
Yeah, Belfast.
Yeah, so we're excited to talk about some stuff. We kind of started talking a little bit even before the podcast, and Casey said, "Hey, you guys chill out because you got to save this good content for the actual video."
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into it, if you're watching it right now, hit the subscribe button. Even like the video. I haven't even really been getting that many likes. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Tell your friends
Do you
about
have,
the
like, a
podcast.
thing on the screen when we go?
No, but we can still point down because it's in that direction. Hit the
Yeah.
subscribe. Hit the subscribe. It's the best podcast on
These
the
are
planet.
good. I've watched some of these. That's why I agreed to come on.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm excited for this. So, Ben, what do you think? You excited to be on the pod?
Yeah, I am. I fancy myself as a bit of a talker sometimes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's not why I'm here. I'm here to discuss some like heavy stuff with.
Really?
Yeah, probably not though.
I told Ben.
don't
I told
really
him
know.
before he came on. I'm like, Ben, write some things down.
Yeah.
That's what I tell everyone. Like when you're coming on, if there's some stuff that you want to get off your chest, you want people to hear.
I want people to hear this. Though the struggle that I had with the whole thing was, do you write down things that people want to talk about, or like are always conversation pieces, or
Yeah.
people's little pieces that come out of like the darkest parts of your mind,
Right.
like as conversation points, right? So like
Yeah.
I don't really know what we should not be talking about.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I tell everyone I try to keep it like
Light.
I wouldn't even say light, but like a healthy PG-13. I mean, we want to keep it interesting though. So my grandmother, or what was it? I think my aunt reached out to me and she said, "Which episode can I tell Grandma to watch of your podcast?" And I was like, I don't know, honestly.
So not
all
a
of
lot
them
of
might
them.
make them a little uncomfortable.
Right.
But if every single podcast that I film makes my grandma really comfortable, then I don't know that anybody else would want to watch the podcast.
No, it's not for grandmothers. I wouldn't say.
No, I've talked a lot about
I-
like dating and hitting on girls.
Yeah, and women is a healthy topic.
Yeah, Ben said he wanted to talk a little bit about that. He is a married man.
Yeah.
He has a very lovely wife, and I am not a married man, so we may have, I don't know, we may have different views on that.
Yeah, I don't know. What I also had written down, I had like women/dating, and like the reason I have dating there is because dating is a nightmare.
Well, it's been a
Do you
while
like
though.
dating?
I really don't mind it. I think it's fun. I like, I like sitting down and having conversation with somebody and getting to know someone of the opposite sex. I think that's a bit of fun. Maybe you have like a couple of drinks. I think I don't know. I think it's fun. But I also, for whatever reason, I get like a rush from like awkward moments. So if I ever like am on a date and I hit like an awkward moment,
That's why you're a realtor.
it like gives me a little fire in my chest, and I almost
Oh,
like
man.
I like it.
You're obviously way better socially than I am then, because like.
Don't forget the fist
Yeah.
rule. Remember we talked about the fist with the microphone?
Yeah. Yeah.
I told Ben when you're speaking in the microphone, you gotta keep.
I gotta
like,
be
the fist.
concentrated actually of what I'm doing here. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
No, I hear what you're saying. You gotta be.
Yeah.
Wary
If
of it.
that's you going away, I'll just go like this.
Yeah.
And
There
I'll
you
just,
go.
like-
Yeah, hold up the fist.
And I'll just go
Not to be
right
confused
back
with
up.
white power.
Ah, yeah, good
I
idea.
Just come right back up to it like this, like slink right back up to it from where I was.
It's easy to do though. I mean, you get into deep conversation, you get back
Yeah, I
here, but
know.
then people who are listening to it in their cars, they got to crank up the volume, and then here I am back close, and they got to turn it
And
down.
then they gotta go all the way down again. Yeah, I know. You're right.
So before we get into the topics that you were that you had written down, we were
Yeah.
talking a little bit about simulation, the simulation theory.
Yeah.
Before
yeah,
we
yeah.
started the podcast, this is what we were talking about when Casey told us to shut up and save it for the podcast. So the simulation theory, for those of you who may not know what it is, there's a lot of very, very intelligent people right now that think that what we're currently living in is a simulation. And I think I may have even mentioned it on the podcast in the past. I can't remember. But they say because of the current trajectory of technology that we're on now, it's very, very, very likely that we have created a simulation of the past, and that's what we're currently living in right now. It's wild to think about.
Yeah, I can't keep up with something like that.
It's it's a very drastic idea, but it's kind of like, I don't know. We were talking about, would you prefer it to be a simulation or would you prefer it to be real life? So I mean, in my mind, if I die and then all of a sudden it turns out that I'm a 13-year-old boy sitting in his living room with an Xbox in front of him, and he's like,
But
yeah,
like, how does it work? This is my point in the whole thing. Like, I don't really know how it works. So like, so what? Either prefer to simulation and what? So like, if one day you die, eventually you wake up just as something else somewhere
Yeah.
else.
So this is not real life. We are currently in, maybe a video game is a poor analogy, but we're currently in a video game.
But then why would you want to like not be real life then? Like if you're just not like alive, you know?
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Because
It's,
then like what happens then like if you die and then like you then wake up as like something else, then like what's like the next thing after that, you know? And whatever.
yeah. So Elon Musk had an interesting point on this. He said that typically when you play a video game, the video game is more exciting than the life that you're currently living in. So if this is a video game or a simulation, that means that when we die, the life that we go back to is probably going to be very boring. You following me on that?
Right. So the life that we go back to is gonna be very boring.
Yeah, because like think about it. If you play like Grand Theft Auto, that's kind of like a real life game. I mean, you have
Yeah,
pretty much
that's
freedom
not that
to do.
fun though.
You don't like Grand Theft Auto?
No, it's fun to play, but like I would hate for that to be my real life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like it depends what you're really saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
hear
the
what
same with
you're saying.
anything. Like it's all the PlayStation games that I play. Like Spider-Man is sick, but like I wouldn't
Yeah.
like to be Spider-Man probably. You know,
Why not?
just because
Too much
like,
responsibility.
Yeah, like and the guy gets like he's constantly having to save the world, and he's like never gets the credit for it. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Could you-
and, like not just those games, like you know all the war games and stuff. Sick to play, but fuck
That's actually
being
a
in
really
war.
good point. I never
Fuck
really
being
thought
in a
about
war,
that.
man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That's a really good point
they're
because
fun to play when you can like just like live and live and even Crash Bandicoot because they
Yeah.
re-released that like that's fully irrelevant. Who cares about that?
no,
but,
but
like,
you make it
you-
actually
you
really.
can
I
get
never
what I'm
even
saying,
thought about
right?
it that way. So I typically am like, yeah, it's
Racing
more
games
exciting
even
in
that
the
I
game.
play like cars that the games now though like make them do like pretty realistic things as to what they do in real life, and like usually when you hit certain points they'll make them stop as they would in real life kind of
Right.
thing, which is fine, but like even still like games are still way off what
Yeah.
real life's like.
It's
Yeah.
tough to think of a game that I would like to actually live inside.
Right. Unless I don't know. I don't play a lot of those like fantasy games on PlayStation
I don't
or
either.
anything. No, I play just like the shooting ones and the driving ones and the
Yeah.
soccer ones.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So
what I like.
maybe if this is a simulation or a video game, this world that we live in is currently much, much more dangerous than
I don't
the
know
real
about
world.
simulation, man. I don't know like
I would buy that. I would buy into that.
I don't know how far like technology goes. Although having said that, like I know that technology goes way farther than like most people like ever want to believe it is.
Yeah.
You and anybody who hasn't watched the Bob Lazar UFO thing on Netflix, have
Oof.
you watched that?
I have.
You
yeah.
gotta watch that just like to
It's
become
mind-blowing.
at least informed on something, you know, like
Yeah.
and see like a side of the story that you probably haven't seen before. But like
Right.
that is like that's a guy that blatantly says, and I don't know like if he's got any reason to lie.
Right.
Like he worked on things that were way out of this world 40 years ago, like
Yeah.
a gravity creating machine that we can't still even do this day.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
Yeah.
he was working on way back then. So like, I think there's things that like there's things that like, and then the point is like people then like probably have that. You know, the
Yeah.
people who are working on that probably have that. So like that means the government probably has it, and you know, so we don't know like how far that
Yeah.
goes, like ever. Secret society stuff. This like, this is a topic I have for you actually, like
The
later
secret
time.
society stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's because like it's, you know, there's definitely like just like an elite group of people that like look after everything, and the rest
Oh,
of us
for
are
sure.
subject to it. You know what
And
I'm
I would be
saying?
surprised if even like the presidents knew everything.
Yeah, probably not. Well, what are they really? Just like figurehead people?
Yeah.
Kind of like
Because
the Queen.
they.
That's what the Queen is in the UK. Like
Yeah.
The Prime Minister does all the work, and the Queen just kind of sits around.
And they need.
And no disrespect to the Queen, by the way.
Nice. Yeah. Coming from England. I
Yeah.
mean, from
Well, she's
from
my Queen.
from
I'm-
Europe.
I'm from Northern Ireland, so
Oh.
she's my Queen too.
Nice.
so.
Queen, if you're watching this,
She sees this, bro. She'll like have me killed.
if the Queen ever watches any of my podcasts,
Yeah, your views would be in the millions. But I'll be dead.
yeah, I'm gonna put Queen on one of the tags for this YouTube video.
Don't do that.
Hopefully she's
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace. Yeah, no, because you know what, they want the president to keep a level head. So
Right.
if he comes into office and they fill him in with all this information, like, so here's the deal: aliens are real. This is what we know about this, that, and all of a sudden he's like, wow, we are doomed.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I think maybe they kind of, I don't know who, but it's probably a secret society,
Yeah.
as you said.
I guess my question to you is though, like how far do you go into like, you know, like of all the questions posed to people is like you either like think something went this way or this way. Like how far do you go into that? Like something like, you know, and you don't have to like tell me which way you go into, but something like, you know, do you have an opinion on 9/11? Do you have an opinion on, you know, the war in like Iraq and Baghdad and those kind of things, like that kind of thing, like
Right.
as in, you know, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to get at.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. And with like the 9/11 thing, I was kind of too young to. I was very much too young
It
to
was so
to
terrifying,
understand
man.
to understand the politics of what may have gone into to them crashing into the building. So I don't know, and I don't know nearly enough about engineering to know if whether or not jet fuel would melt steel beams. I will say it seems strange
I
that the
have no
building
idea.
fell straight down.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It kind of seems like it maybe wouldn't have fallen at all. But again, I mean, I don't know. I'm not engineer. I'm not a structural engineer, so I don't know. And I did say this on a previous podcast too. Is like even if someone were to walk in here right now and tell us like, I'm gonna let you know, 9/11 was an inside job. Us being in Iraq, that's an inside job. I'm telling you this. This is a fact. Like what? Nothing really changes in my life.
Right. No.
What do I do
for
about
sure.
that?
Exactly. And this is what I get back to about like the alien
could start a
stuff then in
Facebook
Area
page.
50. But relative to this kind of stuff, though, like in the alien thing, then like,
Yeah.
you're right. Like, what really changes in our lives because of it? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, but I just think like if it'd just be nice to know if that stuff was real and like who had it and like what they were doing with it and that kind of thing. If it is even a fact,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. 'Cause
All
it-
those conspiracies.
I say like the ball. It was really good to watch and everything, but like don't get me wrong. I still treat that guy with a lot of skepticism. Like I mean,
Naturally, anytime
yeah,
someone is
I'm
saying
not gonna-
something
I'm not
so
gonna sit here and
drastic,
say, oh yeah, you fully believe this guy.
yeah,
Like no. There's
He
definitely
seemed
lot of
like a straight
credibility.
shooter, though.
Yeah, for sure. I got that, but like I was just still kind of thinking, well, he's probably somebody that you still got to take with a pinch of salt until like you fully know exactly what's going on.
a pinch of
you know.
salt. I like that. I've never
Something.
heard that before.
What?
Just a bit of seasoning. You ever
Well,
heard
like
that,
a
Casey?
I've heard of grated salt, but
Yeah,
it
never a
wasn't
pinch.
Well, if you or like a statement thing, well, take this take this with a pinch of salt, as in like it's, it might not be everything it says it is. I
Right.
guess, or whatever.
And I've heard grain of salt many
Oh.
times. I've just
Well,
never heard
maybe a grain of salt is the same.
a pinch
thing.
is
I
so
think-
much more than a grain, but I do like.
Does that matter?
With
Does
a
that
little
matter?
more salt.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know. It's
I don't know if that matters, does it?
There's probably 300 grains in a single pinch. I like pinch better though. I like a lot
With
of
one grain of salt.
I like a lot of the sayings that you brought over here from Ireland. You'll
Yeah.
say things sometimes, and I'm like, "What the hell did you just say to
A
me?"
lot of
like,
them aren't polite.
yeah, no, they are. A lot of them are polite.
Not. I said not.
But,
polite.
not polite.
Yeah.
I like.
Maybe
I like.
some of them are polite.
I like when you say steaming. You're the first person I heard say that. Like
Really?
if
That
if
was-
I'm if I'm drunk, Ben will come up and be like, "You're steaming, lad," and I'll be like, "What does that mean?" I'm like,
You're
I'm on
steaming,
fire.
lad."
Like I'm in a sauna right now. I don't understand. And you're like, "You're drunk. You've had too many pints."
That's that was one of the first ones I learned whenever I started to get to have a few drinks whenever I was a little
Yeah,
bit younger.
it was steaming.
Steaming, yeah. And it's obviously steaming, is what you would say.
Yeah.
The word is.
But we
steaming.
don't use steaming even in the
Right,
context
in
of
any
drunk.
context like that, right? Yeah.
Steaming
and I get,
is
and
like-
that's why it's funny, right?
Yeah.
So, I know it's. There's
I like it, though.
There's some funny words for drunk, you know, and that's why it's.
Do you ever
There's-
feel? Do you ever feel like you're racially attacked for being Irish? Does someone ever say
Not like
things?
attacked, but like you know, definitely, you know, like kind of second citizen.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Give me. Do you have an example, like of when someone said something maybe about where you're from, and you're kind of like,
Nah.
"What the hell was that all
Not
about?"
necessarily like in how somebody said anything to me, but
Yeah.
just kind of behaviorally,
Okay.
I think, and nah, there's nothing I can really.
Yeah.
Without something being said, I can't really pinpoint it, can I?
Right. Well, I mean, I yeah, exactly. I ask because you know
I'm
you,
just accusing
you hear about
somebody.
racism and you assume minorities as like Latino, African American,
I'm still
probably
definitely a minority,
Asian.
bro, yeah.
But like you are a minority. You literally, I mean, what have you been? You've been in the States for like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
No, something like
Yeah.
that. So like you're fresh
Yeah.
into the United States.
I
So you
still-
are a minority.
Yeah, I still think like even if it's not on like a necessarily derogatory basis, I think a lot of people treat me as like a novelty a lot of the time, at least.
Oh,
as
because
a
you're
minimum.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
kind of, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's just this funny Irish guy. That, you know,
Funny.
likes to.
Yeah, no,
and
I
that kind of, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like nobody's ever like said anything nasty to me. Nobody's ever like,
right.
you know, because I don't know. I also wouldn't let anybody.
Yeah, I mean, well, what is I don't know. What are you gonna say?
Exactly. I don't know. Like what is.
You do go to
somebody gonna
Dublin's
say?
probably quite a bit.
Yeah,
There's probably a
right.
racial joke in
But
there
like
somewhere.
if somebody says anything to me, like it's not really gonna offend me. You know, like what are they really gonna say?
Right.
Like I will say something much worse right back to you. Much worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it really doesn't like make a difference. So like maybe that's kind of with the novelty thing comes like the stereotype though. Oh like. You shouldn't like mess, you know, like with Irish people kind of thing. And it's
Because
kinda
they're
like,
fighters.
right? And it's unwarranted. I mean, you know, because I'm like what, I weigh 140, soaking
Right.
wet,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing.
But I've heard you say if someone messes with you, you're not afraid to
I do enjoy
throw
fighting.
hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do enjoy
Which
fighting.
is, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
stereotype right
But-
there.
Right, but at the same time, but like that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Just means that I'm willing to go.
Yeah. No, that's I mean,
Right.
that's true.
But like giving off that right away, then like will like instantly put somebody off like wanting to have a fight with you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Because you're so ready to fight, they may not
Yeah.
want to.
Well, if somebody's like fully coming for me, like why would I be like anywhere like not wanting to do it?
I like that.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah. Well, like so it's and that's all it would be, you know. But most people most people are like a lot stronger and like more useful in a fight than they think they are. You know?
Right.
But like, people just haven't been subjected to the kind of situation a lot.
Yeah.
But
No, it's interesting. I don't think I've ever been in like a fight. I was in wrestling when I was younger. I don't know if that probably doesn't count. but
yeah, well,
I've never had
competitive
somebody-
fighting's different from like you know.
just
you know,
like
for
two
your
guys
life
outside of a
fighting.
bar fighting over a chick
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that.
It's something like this bullshit fighting kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nonsense. You shouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, but it's it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I think
I'm not
like
condoning fighting.
yeah, of course.
I'm just
Queen,
saying.
if you're watching, he's not condoning fight. But I feel like MMA, like mixed martial arts, is becoming more popular now.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'd be really nervous to try to fight just a random person because
Well,
you just never know who knows how to kick someone's ass.
yeah, I know though, but like you can. I always think like you can tell. It's the same with anything. Like and I guess that's how you read people in general too. But like I kind of like you can tell whenever somebody's like really kind of seriously about fighting.
I used to think that too until I met this 20-year-old kid at a networking event recently, and honestly, he kind of seemed a little soft, maybe even a little insecure. And I was talking to him, and it was one of his first networking events that he's been to, so for that reason, I think that's why he came off as insecure. But I started
Sure,
talking to him, and
nervous.
I was asking him questions, and it turns out that he was like a karate champion. Like this dude like traveled the world fighting karate, and was
Yeah,
like
but does it apply to street fighting? Not really. Not really, dude. It
karate.
doesn't. You don't like. You're not.
I would
whipping out
rather be a
some, like,
world-class
Jackie Chan,
karate
right?
fighter
No, for sure.
and get in a street fight
For sure.
than be really good at bowling and get in a street fight.
Right. I get that. I get that for sure, and that is right. You're right.
But I mean, they learn.
But there's no way. Something like karate, man, does not apply to street fighting.
Do you
There's
think?
a lot of things that you'll gain from it, yes, and you will be a way better fighter than most people.
But they don't teach you how to break a bottle on a chair and stab it in somebody's chest.
Yeah, dude, somebody's coming at you with like a broken bottle. Yeah, something like that. Or like just like there's no rules, right? Where like
Yeah.
these karate guys have like rules, where, like you don't like do certain things. Everything flies in a street fight.
You can't
Like, can
karate
bite
chop
somebody.
away a pool stick
You
across
can
the top
bite
of your
somebody,
head.
lads. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
So, like,
suppose.
it's, fighting's fighting, and like it, and that's most of these guys. Every like pro fighter and probably every basically type of fighting would
Right.
be way better than the average fighter in the street, regardless of any
Right.
rules or anything.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, regardless of if there's rules or not.
Yeah.
If you ran, what's that dude, Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Yeah.
If you
But
run
this is
into
the
that
thing.
dude like in a bar and you want to
Or
fight him, like he
Nate
will.
Diaz, bro.
I bet you Khabib would beat Nate Diaz.
I don't know. Nate Diaz.
I can't believe
he's
they're not
one of those
fighting.
guys, man, that you will like beat the shit out of, and he just keeps getting up and up and up
Yeah.
and up.
He's got a couple brothers too that are in the UFC, doesn't he? Nick Diaz, I think.
Nick's in there
Yeah.
too, yeah, his brother. Yeah, but like Nate's like, you know, so McGregor and him have gone 1-1, right?
Yeah.
But like Nate Diaz, man, like I was probably like as talented fighters go. McGregor was probably in his time a more talented fighter. But like there'd be nobody worse to fight than Nate Diaz at that weight because he.
Well, he'll
like,
just
you
he'll
could
kick.
like you could bury that guy and he will. He'll get up. He'll get up again.
Yeah, he'll kick the crap out of you. But I think that
He keeps
I think Khabib would tap him out if they were to fight. I
He's
think
like-
he would tap him out.
He's like a wasp.
A wasp?
Yeah, that's what he's like, man.
Because
You know
like
what? So he fought Dustin Poirier last weekend. I
Yeah,
think,
and he
or
beat
2
him.
weekends ago. Yeah, and he just
Dustin
wrestled
put
him
up
to
a good
death.
fight, though,
Yeah,
didn't he?
but he just wrestled him to death, man. Poirier couldn't get away from him. He just like couldn't do anything about it, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it was really good. But Khabib's one of the best wrestlers ever to do it
right.
because like he's beaten so many like people like. McGregor, my God, man, he ripped McGregor.
Do you think
apart.
McGregor's done fighting?
No, he'll
He's
fight
just gonna
again.
sell whiskey now.
He'll fight again. He'll fight, I think, twice more. And one of them will be either Nate Diaz or Khabib. One of them will be a rematch. Because like I said, he's gone with Nate 1-1, so like there's a pretty good third fight to be had there, I think.
Yeah.
And then with Khabib, it'll be a pretty good rematch to be had there too. So he's got to do at least one of those in his last 2 fights.
Khabib would beat him again. I bet if they
I
fought.
think he would lose, probably to both of them. I think, if I'm honest, I think he would lose to both.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Do you
then
keep
whoever the other one is doesn't matter.
Do you
Doesn't
keep a
matter.
bottle of Connor's whiskey at your house?
No, I've bought a couple of bottles. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people complain about it.
What's your go-to whiskey?
Jameson.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Yeah.
That's just, I like it. I'll drink it on the rocks, to be honest. I love JMO.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, JMO ginger ale, that's the stuff. But like,
It's a solid mix with like for anything that you'll have drink wise too. That's like the solid one you go
Yeah.
to for a mix.
of the
you know what I'm
spirits, is whiskey your favorite?
Yeah, I actually don't drink a lot of other ones.
Vodka's terrible. Casey, you like vodka? You kind of look like a
my
vodka
last
guy.
go-to.
You
What
sort
do you
of,
drink first of all?
Black Velvet is my first thing to go to.
See?
What is that?
Whiskey
What's
guy.
Black Velvet?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Oh, it is?
If I'm drinking liquor.
Right.
So like he'll go to whiskey, but like in college for the first definitely at least 2 years, rum and vodka, and neither of those could I even look at now. I'm saying that I could not even.
I like rum.
The odd time I've been given like a vodka drink and it's been fine. Yeah, I've drank it. You know what?
What was that?
But like I could not if I smell like a what do you call it, Captain Morgan or something, or
Oh.
like a vodka of like
I like rum,
say-
but Captain is
Oh,
tough.
what's-
Just because I
what's
used to.
that?
What was that story that you told me when you were in college
Oh, I don't know.
and you got busted? Do you want to tell it, or is that too graphic for you?
Which one?
You said that you were in your dorm and they came in and you had drank. I think it may have been vodka.
Oh, that was when I got the minor.
Yeah, when you got the minor
Yeah,
consumption.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, so it was obviously so whenever I came to the States, I had already turned 18 in the UK, so it was all legal drinking age. Then came to the US. I struggled with that transition a little bit.
So you had some real experience with drinking.
Yes, I was
Outside of
legally
just
allowed
high
to
school
drink
parties.
and then came here and then kind
Yeah.
of a night forgot or was struggling to the transition or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Halloween night, got caught. Yep, we were at a Halloween dance, got caught. Cops came. I just kind of said, sorry. He asked me. I said yes. I've had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
So what are you trying? I pulled.
And this
out-
was in your dorm room, right?
Oh, a friend's dorm.
A
Actually.
friend's dorm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a lot of us there, probably 10, 15 people, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just asked me how much I drank. I told him, and I showed him this bottle of vodka, and breathalyzed me, and he's like, "There's no way you should still be walking around here with how much you've drank tonight."
What was your BAC? What was the blood alcohol level?
It was 0.29.
That's so. Can you believe? I've hardly ever heard a number that high.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Is that an Irish thing? Like,
I don't know.
Wow, was that racist, Casey? I thought you were so much better than that.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
No, I don't know,
That's
man.
insane.
And
I didn't know you could live. I thought you were dead.
I know.
well, what I don't know, man, what it was like, and genuinely, like, I'll speak about it because, like, I went through this, like, kind of, it was essentially like a full semester phase where I was just able to drink, like, absurd amounts of booze.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know where, and it literally lasted for, like, a semester. I was in so much trouble that first semester with, like, getting caught underage drinking and stuff. And then, so much so that, like, going into the next semester, they put, like you said, like, get any more trouble, like, you're out of here kind of thing. And I never got, like, in trouble again there after the fact, you know. But I was also not drinking the same again anywhere after the fact as I was that first semester kind of thing. But during that time, yeah, I was just able to drink, like, liter bottles of vodka, like, and yeah, and and that was one of the, and, like, I drank that, and it was, you know, we were out and yeah, we drank
0.29.
a couple of things and whatever, and yeah, that was what it blew. And
Wow.
yeah, paid my ticket and everything for it. I got the minor, you know, and whatever. But yeah, it was pretty heavy, I guess. Yeah.
I'm surprised you even remember that. I feel
Yeah,
like you
well,
blacked out at
it
that
was
point.
because it was the end of the dance. Like, we went back to, like, the apartment at the end of the dance, so it was like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. So I actually hadn't even had anything to drink, probably in like
Wow.
an hour.
So you were
An
higher before
hour.
That, probably.
Probably.
Like 0.3.
Well, sometimes it takes a while for it to absorb, though, doesn't
And
it?
I can pull in, so like that could have been. I
Yeah.
actually feel like though, because I was like, I felt more sober in the dance than I did like when we were back there, kind of thing. So yeah, I think it probably peaked like right when they were like talking to me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Because I feel like sometimes I'll
yeah.
drink like a couple
After
beers
that
and I'm
last 20 minutes, half hour, because that's usually when booze. For me, at least 20 minutes is usually it. If I had a shot, 20 minutes later, I'll definitely feel I've had a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the 20-minute thing.
That's why drinking is so it can be so dangerous because
Well,
like someone will be like,
booze,
let's take
yeah.
shots, and you'll be like, yeah, I feel fine.
Booze.
But that's
Yeah.
you only feel fine because the last 2 drinks you've had haven't yet kicked in.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you start to get really drunk, and then it just blows up out of control.
Right. No, I've pushed myself, man, to the limit sometimes, but at the same time, that was, like I said, like looking back on that now, it makes, like, I just, even before we were talking about this, we were talking about what we can't drink anymore. I
Yeah.
can't even look at vodka anymore, and that's what
I
I was
don't like it.
drinking on such a heavy
Yeah.
basis back then.
Oh.
But the reason why I can't look at it now, right, is because like that was the case back then, you know. But it was on a, just like a relative drinking basis. Now I look back at it, man, I'm just kind of like, oh man, like I don't even know, man, how I was able to, you know, like the next day and stuff, like kind of get up and like, because that was the thing, I never missed like class, I never missed like
You were voted to athlete of the year in 2014,
well,
weren't
this
you?
wasn't no, this is my first year, not the last year.
That was your senior year.
So all this drinking
Yeah,
thing,
that was your
the
first year.
first semester freshman year. So
At
only
Scholastica.
one semester, that's what that behavior was like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the athlete thing
Athlete
was
of
the
the year?
very end.
Yeah.
Which was warranted. I was the
Right.
best athlete.
Ben played on the soccer team, naturally, and was voted athlete of the year
You brought this
2014.
up for me. I said I have to bring it up myself.
Yeah, no.
But yes, that was freshman versus senior, and like literally, like honestly, man, without like making too big a deal of it, like
Whoa.
the crap of going from being able to drink legally, at 18 years old
Yeah.
in the UK, then to being 2 years away from it, like moving here, like sucked big time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really did not go over well with me, kind of
They
thing.
should pardon you for that.
Pardon. Do you think being athlete of the year helped you get your wife? Do you think you got female attention for that? Do you think it hurt you?
No. I started dating her the start of that year.
Of your senior year.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got that prize.
So you weren't yet athlete of the year.
At the end. I wasn't athlete of the year until April the next. So
Oh.
yeah.
So.
So I
okay.
got it like just as I was leaving out of there. So I actually got it 2015.
Oh, I suppose they can't give you athlete of the year before the year is over, I guess.
Right.
But it was for the year 14. And
Well, it's given it. No, it's given at the. No, it was for the year 15.
oh.
So I graduated in 15. My last
Oh.
soccer year was 14 because it was a false.
Yeah, it's a
sem-
false sport.
But that was so. The
But it's a
very
graduating
first,
class of 15.
Yeah, the very first year it was done was the year before mine. So I was the second.
So you
ever
started
to-
dating Paige April of your junior year?
No, I didn't start dating her until like September of my senior year.
But she probably had suspicions that you maybe were going to be
Well,
athlete
probably.
of the
I
year.
mean, if you had seen me play, bro, like I was decent.
I'm not going to lie. I heard, like, I had talked to some people from Scholastica, or they'll see, like, on Snapchat or something like that.
Paige?
Not Paige, but, like, other people from Scholastica. Like, when you were on my Snapchats or Instagrams, they'd be like, hey, is that Ben Cullen? He was, like, the dude was a rock star soccer
Yeah,
player.
I was good, lad. Yeah.
Yeah?
But I'll tell you what, Paige wasn't really going for it, lad. She's not really about sports.
You think?
No, she doesn't care about sports.
Okay. You think she'll watch this podcast?
She says she's gonna.
All right.
Yeah, she probably
Nice.
won't though.
Tell her to
She'll
subscribe.
probably
Paige,
fall-
if you're watching this, please subscribe.
She'll fall asleep, probably. But like, yeah, like there's no. If you asked her like what pulled me in to her, or sorry, what pulled her to me,
Right.
or vice versa, however way you want to go about that,
Yeah.
was not the sport thing.
You're a smooth talker, maybe. You got a silver tongue, you think?
Not really. Not really. No, I am nice though.
Yeah, no, you're nice.
You know.
Casey, you think Ben's nice or you think he's a jerk?
Yeah. I'm like a pretty nice guy. Like I
Okay.
do like the general nice.
I'd believe
things, and
that.
I'll usually pay for like drink here and there, and like
Yeah.
if me and you were like grabbing a beer one time and then like we stayed there long enough where it was like, oh, we gotta grab something, I'd probably buy your sandwich.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
That kind of thing. Yeah, but not everybody.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
I was gonna get out of a late lunch with me one day, just be like, yeah, I need a sandwich here.
I
maybe this."
heard. So, okay, so you said before the podcast again that you were kind of hoping to talk a little bit about dating.
Yeah.
Just because you're obviously not in the dating scene anymore.
Yeah.
You are married.
I would like to give you advice if you want.
You
it.
want to give me advice.
I don't know if you
Okay.
need it. I don't think you need it.
No, but listen, I will take advice in anything at
I
any
don't know
time
what
at all.
I don't know what I gotta give you. I don't really know. But like you said, somehow I've got hold of this wife.
Yeah, no, Paige is she's an angel. Paige, if you're watching this, you're an angel. So, if you had to give advice as a married man to a single man
Dude, I don't know.
hoping to become married, I'm not saying I'm like ready to
Not
have a
you.
wife right
Right,
now,
right,
but
right,
you know,
right.
anybody. Eventually, though, you
Hey,
know,
guy.
everybody wants to be married eventually. You'd think maybe. Casey, did you say you want to get married? Or you don't want to get married. Casey says he doesn't want to get married.
doesn't.
So
Right
not
now.
everybody. You might change your mind
Things
though.
change.
Things
Yours
change.
might change.
You
Mine
maybe
probably won't
you
change.
cut the ponytail off one day and it's time to get a crew cut.
Maybe.
Maybe
I'm
not.
ready to sell my soul.
I actually
Maybe-
like the ponytail.
maybe
Keep it.
not. That's yeah.
Man bun correction.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Nobody watching this has ever seen Casey before on the camera, so they're not getting it. He's got
Yeah.
the man bun.
I
A
hear
red-
like
a
people
red
are
one,
asking
too.
for Casey's own equipment. We want to see Casey.
Yeah, everyone's like, we want to hear what Casey has to say about stuff because he's he's
My
a
vote
vegan
was
for
to
one.
get him on there.
He's a vegan, very
So am I,
left.
dude.
You'd consider yourself very
No,
left.
you're not.
Are you vegan? Since
Yeah.
when?
What? I would not expect that just from.
Yeah, you
no.
look like a meat eater.
No,
You look like the kind of person that might eat something
I'm
alive.
pretty loose on it. Yeah, my wife's pretty.
You look
strict
like the
on it,
kinda
yeah,
guy
she
that-
pulled us in.
Might hit a raccoon and throw it in the back of
coming
your
up on 2
trunk
years
and
now,
then cook it for dinner. I'm just talking to myself. I'm
There
sorry.
was like 2 or 3 conversations.
I was like, I've lost myself here.
Like, screw you, gay.
What were we gonna say there though? Like, what were we just about to like?
You were about to give me
game
advice.
thing. No, I wasn't though. I don't really know what to say on it because
Well, you
like I
said you
don't
had
really
advice.
know. I didn't. Yeah.
You suggested it. You're like, yeah, I think I got some advice. So what's the secret? How can you know when you look in this girl's eye and you're like,
Dude, I
I think she
don't-
might be my lady?
I honestly don't even.
Is
know
it?
how
Do you
works.
feel it like in your loins? Is
Don't
it
know
like
how-
deep?
Don't know how it works. I don't. Right. So when I
Do you
met,
feel it like in your butt? That's dumb. I'm like 8
When-
years old.
I don't know that. Like so. Oh, man. Whenever I met Paige, right?
Right. Where'd you meet her?
I.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's hear the story of how you two met.
Oh, dude. So.
Is it romantic?
Right. So. I was studying abroad in Spain the spring semester.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Going into my senior. So this was 2014 spring,
Yeah.
right?
Don't forget about the microphone and the fist. You're talking
Going
away from
in.
it right now.
Going
There we
into
go.
my senior year, right?
Okay.
It was 2014, right?
Got
The
it.
fall was 2014.
Yeah.
So I met Piz just that spring because Gunnar, you remember Gunnar? Do you know Gunnar?
Gunnar who?
Sangbush, blonde kid from Duluth here, went to Marshall and shout out my pal Gunnar. He's just moved to Alaska actually.
I don't
with-
think I know
with
who he
his
is.
bird.
I hope he watches the podcast though.
I'm sure he will now.
Send it to him,
Now that his
subscribe.
name's in there, I'm sure he'll fucking watch it.
He has
now.
to.
Yeah. But anyway, Gunnar was playing soccer at various times with the team and that, so I'd seen Gunnar, sat down to talk with him.
Yeah.
But Paige was there with him.
Ooh.
And Gunnar got right up. As soon as I sat down, Gunnar got up to leave, went to class. And I
Nice.
was like, Brian. So then I got talking to Paige.
So it was just you and Paige.
Yeah, so I got talking to Paige, blah, blah, and whatever. And, you know, she had these thick glasses on and whatever. Yeah,
Whoa.
but she was hot.
Nice.
Yeah, hot.
Like a hot librarian, probably something like that.
I wasn't really going for the
Like
the,
she
the
probably-
uniform thing.
But like
What?
she probably knows calculus at least a little bit. Like she looked like
She looked smart.
She looks studious.
She looked dude, smart. Yeah, smart. Yeah.
Nice.
So then I was like, so then yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. Taught, left. I was living with two guys at the time who were the year below me, which was Paige's year, who knew Paige from the dorms a year before that previously. So essentially, these were two guys playing on my team that knew Paige just before I knew Paige.
Got it.
And I was like, bang, I met this
Bang.
girl Paige today.
Mm.
And we're like, oh yeah, we know Paige, blah blah blah. Heard real nice things about her, everything like that.
Right.
Everything was lining up good.
Yeah.
Nothing bad here.
Uh-huh.
Everything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But then yeah, summer rolled around a lot, and I was in Duluth working and doing whatever, and then once September rolled around, we got back in, and then that's when we did the dating thing. You know.
So
like,
you had to
went on a date.
But you had to ask her on the date, correct?
Yes, and not until September. So we went through like a 4-month hiatus essentially because we weren't in school.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah.
So did you text her and ask her to go on a date, or like, you know, what were the
Because
logistics
school
of
had
that?
started back up.
Because the devil's in the details, I think, on this
Right.
stuff.
Because school was back up and we were back on campus. We had obviously been back on campus since mid-August. We were down in Texas and then just got back started September. Just after Labor Day, then yes, I had seen her. But I don't think we went on, and I can't really remember this that well, but I don't think we went on a date for a couple of weeks at least. Because like, the first time we went on a date, we went to like Noodles.
In company?
Yeah, yeah. And it was a night when she had like an exam.
I
so
like
I'm
that.
thinking, why would she have an exam so early in the year? You know what I'm saying? It must have been, but they do have a lot of exams, but it must have at least have been at the end of the month or whatever, blah blah blah. So it was
Okay.
at least a couple of weeks. But she turned up to my place an absolute wreck, because she'd been studying all day, like for the
Oh,
exam and blah blah
right.
blah, whatever. But I like treated it as a full date, so I come out looking real good, clean, smelling nice,
Yeah.
everything.
Smelling nice.
Yeah, so she was
Smell.
like, she was
Yeah.
like,
You smell like a field of
yeah,
mints
she was furious
because you
at
look so
herself
good.
that I was clean and like looking so nice when she was.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I can't even really remember what she was wearing.
Yeah.
I think she was. I thought she looked just fine.
Of course. That's typically the way it is.
I mean, I didn't really, honestly, like I didn't really like see like anything way out there. I'd be like, wow, that's
Yeah.
horrendous. I gotta get out of here. You know, I kind of.
I can't even imagine what a woman would need to be wearing for
yeah.
me to be like, what
I don't
in
know.
the hell
I don't know.
were you thinking? I don't know. Like if I went on a first date, she could be wearing like a sweatshirt, sweatpants, and
Yeah.
bright orange flip flops.
Paige
And I'd
she
be
was
like,
wearing sweatpants
this
that
is
night.
definitely
I don't think she
different.
was.
She was what? She was wearing sweatpants.
She thinks that she was wearing sweatpants that night, but I don't remember that she was. Although
Well, whatever she was wearing, it worked.
it was
Because all of a sudden she fished in the athlete of the year,
yeah. This is the thing
2015.
though, like people think that like I should be so grateful to have her. You know what I'm saying? She should be so grateful to have me.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're a catch.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. You said you're nice. I agree.
No,
you're nice.
Yeah, I'm nice, but yeah,
You're a nice
it's
person.
definitely I'm pretty grateful to have her.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
good.
Know.
So you never really gave us your advice, though. So
I
do
don't
you
really
have
know.
advice,
This
or was that fake news?
I told you. I told you going into this that like I don't envy anybody having to date these days, man. Dating, I
Really?
think personally,
What do
is
you think's
horrible.
wrong with it?
Even when it goes well, I don't think it's very nice to have to do.
Really?
Yeah, because I've never been on a bad date.
Yeah.
Like anytime I've been on a date, like it's been like don't get me wrong, like most of the time, obviously things don't work out, but it's just like I can tell it's not really it's gonna be a
Right.
compatibility thing, you know.
Yeah.
But like I've never gone on a date and it's just been like get me the fuck out of here.
I really haven't either.
You know, have you
Yeah.
ever been to a restaurant where you've had such bad food where you've had to like fully complain about it? Have you had that before? I've never ever had to do that. I've never even had food so bad, lad, that
That's a
I've had
really
to
good
send
question.
it back. I've never even had to send food back before.
You made an analogy with like food and dates.
I'm not trying to.
No,
but like,
I like that. I
Seriously,
like that
don't
question though.
like
I like
yeah,
I like the quick
I've
pivot.
Never, like when I say this to Paige all the time. It's like, I wonder like what like makes something so bad about a meal served in a restaurant where somebody like sends it back. Is somebody like that specific? And a lot of people are, I know, especially when it comes to meat and stuff. Like you'll be very specific as to how things should be done
Right.
or whatever. But like I was like, whatever they put down, I don't think I'll ever send it back. I'll just
So
eat it, you
I
know what
will
I'm saying?
never ever send it back. I've seen the movie Waiting, Waiting,
You know.
with
you
Ryan
can,
Reynolds.
though.
When you send food back, you never know what's going on because you're basically insulting the chef. You're saying, hey, your food is crap. Take it back. Frickin' fix it because it tastes bad.
You are
It-
insult. You're
You're kind of insulting
You
him.
are.
So
You
if
are
my food is
insulting.
bad, I won't send it back. And honestly, I won't even say anything to the waiter because what do I have to gain by complaining
Nothing at
to
all.
the waiter? But
Nothing at all.
I don't have anything to gain by that. So
Nothing
I'll
at
keep
all.
it to myself. But you know what I will do is I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, just keep in mind this,
Well,
Food
like,
sucks.
the very minimum, I think, which is actually probably worse for the restaurant, is like you leave there and just kind of remember that every time you go past, it's like, yeah, I could serve that bad food in there that time. You know, I didn't say
Yeah.
anything. I didn't need to, but like
But
every time,
that's the
anytime anybody suggests this place, you'd be like, well, last time I went there, actually, the food wasn't great.
Yeah.
You know, so that's worse. Rather than
Well,
letting them fix
it's
it.
worse for them.
Right.
But it's also their responsibility to be sure that every single plate they're putting out
It's
is
perfect.
frickin'
And that's what makes a top restaurant
Sick.
a top restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes places better than
That's
other
why when I
places.
go to OMC in Duluth,
Dude, they can't
that
get anything
place-
wrong.
that place is. I mean, it's.
How
in a-
can they get anything wrong?
They can't. I could order a deep fried
Dude.
diaper from that place,
Man,
and I would be like, dude, honestly, it's not even
my
that bad.
parents, I told you this just the other day. My parents who had been here not a couple times, third, fourth time being here, and we were out in Montana this past summer, and we had a couple of places. the other times we've been here was my wedding and a graduation, so very busy time, so we didn't kind of get to relax and like get to do a lot of the shit that we actually wanted
Yeah.
to do. if you
Don't
know
forget
what
about the
I'm saying.
microphone.
Yeah, and but we went to a couple of places that we got to eat, like OMC was one of them, and like my dad got this like rib and like fried chicken, like half and half fish thing.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like it was nothing like I've ever seen before.
It's so good.
Yeah, that place in there is, and
And they were
cater,
voted
like,
2018's cleanest restaurant in Duluth.
cleanest as
Yeah.
well.
They're also the cleanest.
Every time, like our Fuse stuff, we always get them to cater it, don't they?
Yeah.
And
It's
they-
phenomenal.
Yeah, that their food is something else. Like as far as, and like the guy's always I'm forgetting the guy's name now, but the guy's like
I
they
forget
sit-
his name too.
and he's always just waiting on the tables too.
Yeah.
And he's walking around and like he's like I've actually they've catered our couple things,
Okay.
but I've maybe only gone into the restaurant maybe 2 max 3 times. And every time, like the guy's there and he's like talking, and he stops to talk to you every single
Yeah.
time. And
It's
he's like,
good.
yeah, we're just trying to do our best with barbecue in the very north of Minnesota. And I'm like, dude, you're doing a killer job.
It's
Like,
the
this
best.
is-
I've had barbecue.
Like, yeah.
I've had it in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, I've had it
Yeah.
like in North Carolina. I've had all
The
these
real
like
places.
these places that say like we got the best BBQ like on the planet. But OMC is, it makes you happy. I can go in there like coming off I could be in a deep funk. And then just go try
It's-
some of their grits. And I don't even really like grits.
I'm not a
Grits
big
sound
fan.
terrible. But all of a sudden I get a little bowl of grits and I just want to, I want to do the breaststroke
Or
in it.
they're- what is-
I want to be the grits all of a sudden.
what do you call those pork fried?
Yeah,
things,
the
loin things?
Yeah, the
Is that what they are?
what are
No,
they
that's
called?
not what
Casey,
they're
you know what we're talking about?
I don't know
The
much
wafer
about
thing?
pork.
No, it's
wafer
the
thing,
the
like
skin. You bite it. Pork loins. Pork rinds.
rinds.
Rinds, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind
you,
of
you
rinds.
dip it in like a pork rind.
Like a pork, or not a pork.
Sounds like,
Like a prawn cracker like you get with Chinese food. You ever? Oh, you told me you don't have those here.
what's that? A prawn?
Like a prawn cracker.
Is that
It's
ki-
like
is that a kind of
Chinese food, like,
seafood?
does it with. So if we're listening, if anybody's in the UK is listening to this,
I
they'll know what
hope
I'm
so.
talking about.
You have a very optimistic view of my viewers. You think the Queen's watching? Your friend Gunner?
Gunner's in Alaska, bro.
I know, but I don't think I have any Alaskan subscribers. Listen, I got 28 of them. So if one person on each, there's not enough subscribers for one person in each state to be watching it. But it's gonna blow up. It just takes time.
Everything takes time.
Are you
Let
gonna
me
call?
see.
Are you gonna call Gunner?
No,
Let
I'm not
him know
gonna
to-
call anybody. I just wanted to see what
What's
else.
on? What's on your? You got something you want to cover?
Yeah, human behavior is what I want to cover.
Human behavior. I love it. I've read many books on human behavior because humans are a very interesting species.
Yeah, like sociopaths.
Oh, so atypical human behavior.
Yeah, comparatively to typical human.
To
behavior.
typical human
Yeah.
behavior. So give me an example of what you're
Stalking of other humans.
stalking. What the hell is wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding.
That's sociopathic.
It is sociopathic. No,
Yeah.
I agree. So what do you mean? Like you want in what aspect of stalking?
Well, dude, I've just been watching, and I'm sure a lot of other people have been as well. Like the last 2 years, we've been like flooded with, serial killer stuff, like documentary stuff, and like
Yeah,
shows. and
people are
everything like
interested in it.
that. Dude.
Also, on a
and it
side
is
note, those
so
serial killers,
interesting.
girls are attracted to them. Like Jeffrey
Not
Dahmer
all- yeah, I
had a
know.
lot of girls that
I
wanted
know.
to do him.
Ted
Anyway,
Bundy.
Ted Bundy,
And because
lot
he
of
was real
chicks.
Good looking. That's why.
The dude was kind of a rocket as well. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. Jeffrey Dahmer though was a violent man.
He was a violent
Well,
man.
they were all violent men, really. Weren't
Yeah.
They? But yeah, I just I kind of probably like I said, the same as everybody else, just kind of you just get interested in the human phenomenon of thinking and like what it takes
Yeah.
to become like a sociopath, or what it doesn't take, like or like people just born to be like these.
I
kind of
know.
people.
Well, I think I don't know that it's something that they can even control, unfortunately.
But I think like that's like just like one of, you know what I'm saying? This is what I mean. Like there's a million different aspects. Like some of them
Yeah.
can and kind of can't, and like some of them can, they kind of can, and some definitely can, and some definitely.
But I mean, we look at them as terrible people because, They probably are. They're killing, eating people.
Well, they're not like a regular
That's
person, though,
terrible.
are they?
But
Like,
what
they're
we
not-
don't consider is that they may not have a choice in it.
Right.
I mean, it's something that it's an urge that they cannot ignore. So like for me, I couldn't, if like the person that I hate the most on the planet, which I don't even know who that would be, but if they were to walk in here, I have a knife, the thought of actually killing that person is like a nightmare. Like I do not want to kill a person because I know that it would be very difficult to do. So this person clearly has something, a little bit wrong.
So is
or a
somebody
lot
a
of it
person
wrong.
just because they're born into a human body?
It's what?
Like, cause like these people, you're right. Like these people are like demons. Like they're not like people as we know
No,
people to be.
This is
right?
not a choice that they're
Right.
making, I don't
But
think.
like, is somebody then like a person just because like they're born into like a human body?
So you think they might be something other
Well,
than
like
a
it's
human being?
no, like they are like if you really got down to it, yes, they still are human. But like, if somebody's like that deranged and everything, like so far to the point where like Ted Bundy dude was like a total sociopath that like. He like just lived like an alternate reality most of the time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that guy like is literally like a cartoon walking around. Like he's not like a real person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He is to other people. He's got a mother. Like
Oh,
and
yeah.
she'll be devastated. Like
Of
and
course.
whatever else. But this dude is just like a freak of nature that is something that completely opposite to what anything meaning human should be.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of these people. And like we all know who they are. Dahmer is one of them.
Mm.
Then you get like very strange and like weird breaks in cases like, and we don't have to get into all different kinds of ones, but you get what I'm saying, right?
I do.
And I just don't know like where you really draw the line between like where somebody is like it's the same as somebody being like declared mentally insane, like I mean,
Right.
as in like criminally insane, as in like done like one of these murders on the basis
Yeah.
like killed like a lot of people and said something made me do it, or I
Right.
just lost my mind.
Yeah. No, that's
It's a grim topic.
it is. It's grim, but I think it's an interesting
Very
topic.
interesting.
Because
Human
you kind
behavior.
of you almost reach a point where you're like, how much of the blame can we actually put on this person's decisions that they've made? So like you look at someone like this person killed him, he's guilty, then that's the end of it. But at the same time, you're like, this guy's got a mental condition. I mean, he can't help himself.
Yeah.
Like he had an urge that he needed to fill. So is it really his fault that he killed this person? And it's I don't know. It's an interesting topic. It's the same thing with like pedophiles.
Right.
So again, for me, obviously not attracted to young people. Even saying it out loud is awful.
That's just making me laugh. It's
No,
exactly
yeah,
that.
it's funny because it's such an outlandish thing. But for some human beings, I don't know, like that's what they're like into. So it's obviously a mental condition. Oh, okay.
No, you're right. No, you're exactly right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, you're exactly right. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like it's that shows like where our mind is relative.
Yeah.
To that. But yeah, you're
Like,
right. Some people do it are like.
I want nothing
Like,
more
it's
than to
nice,
like
but, like-
avocados, but I hate them.
Yeah, like,
I think it's kind of like that.
It's absolutely morose though, man. Like you're right. That, like there are humans out there that are like
They're sick, I think.
weirdly like
But there's
attracted to,
nothing
like,
that you can do.
children
You
and-
can't fix
Right,
it.
I know.
So
and,
put
like,
them in
but they're
jail.
just,
I
like
think.
diseased people, but like there seems to be a lot more and more and more and more. At the same time, like you get like killers like like BTK, like Dennis Rader.
Who is that?
Oh, dude. I don't
Dennis
wanna
Rader?
Talk about him on here, but like this guy, like once he got caught, like so he like did all these murders, law, and then like went dormant for like 25 years, and then like got bored, not necessarily bored, but anyway, he sent like a letter to the cops, and they got caught way after. And
Yeah.
there's like if you YouTube him, lad, Dennis Rader, like court confession. It's a
Right.
45-minute court confession, bro, and he just like sits there plain as day.
And you can tell
And
that he's
talks,
sick.
and he says exactly what he did. And this guy, man, defies all profiles, all like everything as to how somebody should be, and it just does not
Yeah.
make sense. And he's just sitting there, just like talking about like if you just asked me, Ben, what did you do today? And I was like, right, kids, I got up today. I went up. I had a shower. I then made breakfast. I made coffee. And he's just rattling this off, bro. It's like
Yeah.
what he did, like for
Right.
all these years to these people.
Yeah. So
I don't recommend anybody watch it, but if you're interested in watching it,
Especially not
I'm
you,
watching
Queen.
like a a total phenom in creature and human behavior, watch that.
Yeah. So, but that's
crazy.
the way that he acts with, you know, like a conscious, or in his world, a conscious mind.
Yeah.
But there are murders where, let's say, like a dude maybe walks in on his wife of 15 years, cheating on him with like another man,
Yeah.
and that's him acting, not
That's like
with
instant
his
murder.
conscious mind.
Yeah.
It's like he's hit with these emotions that changes the way that he reacts to the situation.
I would be one of those guys.
That kills somebody. So, but the difference between if you were to do that, yeah, he loves it. He's like,
I'm not actually gonna kill somebody.
oh, nice.
Yeah, I would be like instant react kind of like, as in like that. That would be very like of a lot of the guys I know like in my life. I kind of think like, man, like I wonder who wouldn't like react violently like if something like that happened right away.
Yeah. If a guy walked
But I'm
in
not gonna
on,
indict myself and say like, yes, I'm gonna kill somebody. if I
Right.
did.
yeah, allegedly you would, is what you need to say.
No, I would
You
get
need to say
somebody else to do
allegedly I would kill somebody.
Allegedly, I'd be upset.
Yeah, allegedly he would get a 9-iron to the throat. I would be upset. Yeah, yeah. I would need more than a stress ball, I think,
Yeah, I'd be
in
pretty
that
upset.
scenario.
I'd be pretty upset.
No, yeah, human behavior is interesting in I think we underestimate the.
Yeah, and
We
not just
underestimate the human mind. I think a lot of these fantasies
it
that.
doesn't have to be in the killing sense all the time. Is my point of that? Yes. It
Yeah.
goes a lot.
I think we
further.
underestimate the human mind. I think there's a lot of these fantasies and these, these fables that we come up with, like things like. So, for example, like I don't believe in ghosts. I don't think they exist.
Either do I.
I think
I
ghosts.
don't think you see ghosts. I
No.
don't think you.
Casey,
I
you
don't
believe in
think they
ghosts?
are a presence.
Casey believes in ghosts.
You do. A lot of people do.
Like a ghost or like a spirit, you know?
I don't
What's
know
the
how to
difference?
Well,
differentiate
I don't
either.
know.
Really, either
You know,
is my
just-
problem.
Are you religious? Do you believe in like
I
spirits?
am.
don't
I
know.
am. Yes.
What's the difference between a spirit and a ghost? I think
That's
the
where
same thing.
I don't know. I trouble between that.
I don't think that. Well, I just I don't think they exist. I don't think like ghosts exist. Like I don't know. I don't think when somebody dies, like their spirit or their ghost is going to be just roaming around. And I don't like if that existed, then why would we not have proof of it? Do you know what I mean?
Or just like a lot more of anything about it kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So I
for
was
sure.
reading a story on human behavior, like a year ago, I think, and there was a story within the book. I was reading a book. There was a story within the book that said there was a house that the owners of the house, they kept, these weird things kept happening. They kept seeing things, they kept hearing things, and they came to the conclusion, of course, that the house was haunted. So they decided, put the house up for sale, work with your local realtor, #Gage Hartman, sell the house. So the next family moves into the house. Same things are going on. They're seeing things. Their worst nightmares kind of lurking around the house. They're hearing creaks at night, this and that. So the same thing. They put the house up for sale. This is a true story, according to the book. They put the house up for sale, and they sell it. The next family moves in. Third family, they're going through the same experiences. Rather than act out and sell the house, what they do is they bring an HVAC professional into the house. He goes into the basement. He takes a look at the furnace. Turns out the furnace has been leaking carbon monoxide. And what happens when we as humans breathe in a bit of carbon monoxide, short of enough to kill us, is that we hallucinate. So these two families that lived in the home prior to this current family, they were not actually seeing and hearing things. They were hallucinating because of the carbon monoxide leak
Right.
coming from the furnace. And they said that the main epicenter of the paranormal activity was in the basement, which not so coincidentally was where the furnace was, which was the thing that was leaking the gas. So they avoided the basement because that's when all the paranormal activity happened.
Yeah, that's.
But it was from the gas. So again, we underestimate, and we sometimes skip logic. We skip logic and act
brain
directly
also
out of
sees
emotion.
what you want to see.
What's that?
The brain sees what you want to see. Sometimes.
That's exactly right. Sometimes I'll be like in a dark spot, and I'm again somebody who does not believe
That's why the
in
dark's scary.
paranormal activity, and the dark is scary. So sometimes our brain You
Right.
know, it'll produce something, or
Yeah.
it'll produce a sound, or you'll get like chills down
Dark
your
is
neck.
scary, or vice versa. You know, like something makes
Yeah.
the dark scary. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Like yeah.
There's
that
a
kind of
reason,
stuff.
like, if ghosts are real, why don't we see them in Walmart when there's people everywhere? Because there's no fear there.
No.
How can we only see ghosts in a situation that might,
warrant
warrant
it like
fear?
you're at a cemetery or you're
Right?
alone
Yeah,
in a
weird
terrifyingly dark
cemeteries.
place.
Okay, there's a lot of dead people there, so I could maybe see that argument. But like,
right. But I mean,
within a
what?
house?
Just because there's more there, that you think there's more around there, or you think there's none
Yeah.
at all?
well, why would the ghost only choose to come out when it's conveniently also in a scary situation?
Because ghosts can only be seen maybe at dark.
See, and that's low.
I'm just fighting you here.
No,
I don't believe it either.
I hear you, but why would I don't
don't-
know? I'm not
but like you
buying it.
couldn't see a ghost in the daytime.
Why do they got to be so secretive about it?
Ghosts? Because that's the nature of ghosts.
How come I'm not?
They're sneaky.
How come I'm not picking up, like some new laundry detergent at Target, and then all of a sudden, like a bar of soap falls next to me, and I'm like, what?
That's not how it works, lad. You should know
See,
that.
and that's just so convenient for the truth of
Well,
ghosts.
I
now,
got
isn't it?
this joke for you. Would you hear this?
Let's
Alright,
hear it.
So, all right. So, Paddy's got this van full of monkeys.
Who?
Paddy.
Oh, Patty.
Paddy.
Patty.
Paddy's got this van full of monkeys and he's taking them up the road. He's taking them to the zoo, right?
Got
He's
it.
dropping them off at the zoo. He's on the way up the road and van starts chugging along, bang, all of a sudden breaks down. So he pulls over to the side of the road, gets out to see what's wrong with the car. His friend Mick drives past. As he flags Mick down, Mick swings back around and he says, Mick, I've got this van full of monkeys here. They need to go to the zoo. If I give you 50 quid, will you take the monkeys up to the zoo?
Yeah.
Mick says, all right, so yeah, up to the zoo, no problem. Yeah, I'll take him up there. So Mick takes off with his 50 quid and takes the monkeys in his van up to the zoo. Paddy's getting his van fixed. And as Paddy eventually gets his van fixed, he's heading up the road then to make sure the delivery went all right and the monkeys are up at the zoo.
Right.
On the way up, he sees Mick coming down the other side. Van still full of monkeys. And he's thinking, what the fuck's he doing? He's supposed to drop those monkeys off at the zoo. Like, so he chases after him, manages to catch up and flags him down, flags Mick down, etc. He says, Mick, what the fuck you doing? You've got the van full of monkeys here. You're supposed to take him to the zoo. Mick says, I did take him to the zoo, but I got some money left, so now we're going to the cinema.
I like that a lot.
That's a funny joke, isn't it?
That is funny.
That's a good joke.
Did you,
That's a good
did
old
you
joke.
hear that in Ireland?
I didn't hear it in Ireland. I've heard it since getting back, though, from somebody, yeah. I heard it from
I think
somebody.
one of the beautiful things about moving from one continent to another is that you probably have like just pages of jokes.
Untold jokes, bro.
And like like wise sayings. So you'll say something like, "Whoa, where did you hear that?" You're like, "I came up with it." Little do they know, everybody in Europe
I'm
says
not
it
going to take credit
and
for it.
knows it. You know what I mean?
Because
though?
you'll find me out. You'll definitely find me
I
out.
just feel like if I went to
I'll just be like, yeah, somebody said it.
if I went to like the country Chad or something like that, maybe somewhere where they don't know a ton about like American culture.
Well, they don't know like
And
anything English there.
I
don't
started
think.
saying things like kill two birds with one stone. They'll be like, whoa, this dude is like
What a
freaking
profound
Aristotle.
guy. Yeah,
Who is
what a profound
Here
guy.
comes Plato. Like they're gonna think I'm the smartest dude on the planet. They're like, how did he think
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah. No, that's just a joke, lad. Yeah, I heard.
That's
the,
really- that's-
the
that is
wedding
funny,
I
though.
was at home.
I like it.
man,
I don't know
over-
how much a quid is, or even necessarily what it is.
I quit. So like, and that's the thing. So who did I tell? I told it to. I told it to Jake last night. So I just, and you can replace that with quid. Like you could say 50
Yen.
bucks.
You could say yen.
$50.
Yeah, $50.
50 quid is probably about $55, but you can say
Okay.
$50. Like it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
But then you couldn't call him Paddy and Mick. You have to call him something like
Yeah.
Gage and Jake.
Yeah, Tom and Seth or whatever. Casey, where are we at for time right now?
We're at an hour and 4 minutes.
Oh man, we took off there. Well, I literally cannot end an episode without doing my news of the day, or my
Right.
special news,
yeah.
my special news segment,
What is it?
which I looked up earlier. My special news segment is I saw last week there was a man in North Carolina who had footage, and I watched it. It's not completely compelling, but he had footage of Bigfoot walking around. He was taking his dog for a walk through the woods, and he said he saw a rock drop by him, and he looked around, and then all of a sudden he saw an ape-like creature throw a second rock. at him. And then he has like 20 minutes of footage of these ape-looking creatures. And I looked at it, and I will give to his credit, they look like apes. But you just, you don't know if it's a person in a costume.
Dude, I just wish I
You
was
don't
there to see like
know.
what it was. What?
And
this-
the thing that's the worst part for me is the guy, he was on the news talking about it, and he looks like such a stereotypical, like, redneck dude who was
I
in
got
the
you.
woods
I
and
got
claims
you.
that he saw Bigfoot. He had like and I hope I don't, insult anybody, but he had like the camo hat on, and like he was probably like 54 years old. He had the overalls. He's like, hey man, it's just another day out in my woods, just me and Skipper. Just going for a walk. Next thing you know, I hear a stone. It drops right by my feet. I look over. At first, I thought it was maybe a black bear. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not.
It was
falling
just
for it.
so stereotypical.
I'm not falling for it.
Why wouldn't Bigfoot eat him? Like,
Well, maybe Bigfoot,
Why
is
is
an
Bigfoot
herbivore.
just throwing rocks at people? Why did he
I don't
throw
know.
rocks at people? He wouldn't do that.
I'm not sure. Why do
He's
we?
like a
Why do
beast,
we?
Isn't he? Like he can rip people apart.
Why do we throw quarters in a well? I don't know.
I don't do that.
I don't do that either.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
lame.
know. This gets back to I would just love to. I would, of all things that could happen in life, like when you die, it'd be nice to just know the answers to everything you've ever had the question of when you die, and then because you can't tell it to anybody, everything you've ever
Yeah.
had the question. Oh, I wonder what was the real thing behind that. I wonder what was real. That would be like the most beautiful thing in the world if you got that at the end.
I don't think I would like that because then I couldn't
I
tell
would like
anybody.
it because
The best
I
part
would just
about-
like to know if I've taken life too seriously or if I've taken it not seriously enough.
Yeah.
But
But I think the best part about finding those things out is
you're
being
dead
able
already.
to
You have to
discuss
remember,
it with
so it
other
doesn't
people.
matter. It's fine now when you do that alive.
I think the only thing worse than not knowing the answer to a secret is knowing the answer to a secret and not being able to tell anybody about it.
Yeah, that's harder.
So if you knew for a fact that what
But,
was
like, some
going
people are
on
gonna be
in Area 51, but you couldn't tell anyone, that would be worse, I think, than not knowing and getting to participate in the
Right.
guessing.
Well, this is why I believe whenever certain people come out and kind of talk about things and where they've worked and where they've been and what they've seen and that kind of thing. And I mean certain things now are pretty concrete. There's pretty concrete evidence of life outside Earth and that kind of thing.
You think?
Isn't there? I think so.
I don't think we have any concrete evidence.
Don't
do we?
isn't there confirmed they've gathered some spaceship stuff and everything before?
I don't think
I
any
think
of that
there
is
is, Lord.
concerned. So, yeah, so when it comes to aliens,
And that's
I'm
obviously only
skeptical,
one thing.
but I want
yeah.
to focus on the definition of an alien. An
Right.
alien is a being that comes from somewhere else
Yeah.
to.
Somebody
It's a
that-
non-domestic being.
If
So
they make a ship to get here, then that's an alien.
that's an alien.
Right.
But I'm skeptical with aliens. But what I'm not skeptical with is
a
life
bacteria
outside
getting
of
here
Earth.
on a comet.
No,
Right.
but life outside of Earth. So the universe is.
What does that mean, though?
So the universe is, it's never ending. It's forever. It's
Right.
infinite, which means that there are an infinite amount of possibilities for life. So a theory that people discuss often is that somewhere in the universe, which again is infinite, which is about as big as anything can be.
Couldn't get any bigger.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Infinite.
Somewhere in the universe, there's a person named Gage and Ben.
I don't
speaking
know
on
about
a
the parallel
podcast.
universe thing, but
Well, it's not. It's not parallel. There's just. It is parallel in that I guess it's similar to what we're living right now. But if it's infinite, then there's a 100% chance that there are an infinite amount of
Right.
High Five with
Right.
Gage Hartman podcasts going on,
And
where he has
so
a
what
person
does
named
this
Ben on.
matter? What am I wasting my time here for? If this is being done in a lot of other places, thought.
that's the ultimate question.
Well, there's also an infinite number of episodes where Ben goes, "What does this matter?" and he storms off. And listen, I've seen those episodes.
They're not
You don't
great.
want to be
They're
that
not
Ben.
great. They're not
You
great.
do not want to be
Nobody
that
likes
Ben.
those episodes. Yeah.
Nope. I've seen the reviews and the other.
They're not great. They do not follow up well.
Yeah, and they're not only are they not great, they're a disaster.
Yeah, you're right, Lon. It's so far beyond comprehension for me personally.
And that's the thing is our minds are so simple.
Yeah, I know. I just think there's Yeah, because of the endlessness of the possibility there, I think there's just like so much more. And I think that we only get like a fraction of what's really even like available to us, even as people.
Even a fraction is probably even
Yeah,
giving
I
us
think,
too
like,
much credit.
Yeah, exactly.
To
man. Like, and
assume
that's,
that we as human beings can ever totally comprehend what the universe is and how big infinite is, like that's just it's
well, it doesn't really make sense.
it's
to
so
people like us, does it?
unrealistic.
Like the world is even too big for most people.
And
you know?
that's why I'm pretty certain that we're in a simulation.
I don't know,
Because it
but
doesn't
like
make
I don't
any
really know
sense.
what a simulation is still.
But think about if you were, so let's use Grand Theft Auto again as an example. Let's say you were the player in Grand Theft Auto and someone was like, man, what do you think is outside of this game? And then everyone has like, they're like, I couldn't even imagine what's outside
Yeah,
of this
but that's
game.
like a video game, bro. But like we're like flesh and blood.
Well, they
Well,
probably,
have you ever seen The Matrix?
Yeah,
that.
I have, but
That's
it's been too long. I don't remember what it is.
I haven't seen Matrix in like 10 years.
But the
probably,
only,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
people within
yeah,
Grand
Matrix,
Theft
yeah.
Auto, the only guesses that they would have as to what's outside the video game is, it's totally just a guess. Because there's no way they could ever guess it. They would never know. And I feel like we are in that scenario. So if we are in a simulation, or even if we're not in a simulation, if we're in real life, thinking that we could guess what is beyond what we see as reality or what happens when you die, thinking that we can guess to what happens is so egotistical. Like there's literally no way.
Right.
It's fantasy.
Yeah.
Because we will
'Cause
never
you're
know.
not in control anyway.
We
so,
don't
like,
know, and we
you'll
will never know.
Yeah.
Ever. That's a question
Right.
we will never have an answer to.
So it's a waste of time talking about it.
No, because it's a mental exercise, and it kind of gets the juices flowing. It's interesting to talk about. It's not a waste
It
of
is
time.
interesting, but it's also quite depressing too, isn't it? Like, because I mean, you're just kind of like, well, Jesus, like, what the fuck am I doing?
I could say that. I could see how it could be depressing, but also I could see how it can be kind of motivating. Because you're like, maybe there's a heaven after I die. Maybe there's this. Maybe there's that. Maybe this happens. Maybe nothing happens.
You think if it's a simulation,
Nobody
there's
really
gonna
knows.
be a heaven after you
But
die?
one thing that I know for sure is that, I'm on a podcast right now called The High Five, and I'm here with Ben. And tomorrow, hopefully, I'll wake up and I'll have another day. And that's
You
just
will?
like the last podcast. I got a lot of crap because everyone kept saying, Gage, it's messed up that every time that you wake up in the morning, you say this could be the day. But I don't know. We don't know what happens when we die. So while
Right.
we're here on the planet,
Right.
you may as well go out there and just freaking punch every day right in the throat.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well just punch it right in the throat. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. Just like throat punch it.
Yeah, throat punch it.
Yeah.
I like,
dude.
Casey, do you think that our shirts go well together that we're in right now?
No, what? You have to bring the opposite.
You don't like Bob Ross?
What does it say? No mistakes?
No mistakes, only happy accidents.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my.
You ever seen this guy?
Yes, I've seen this guy, dude.
This dude is hilarious.
Yeah, Bob Ross is top drawer. Though.
He's so top drawer, but the thing is he plays like this soft little painter, like
Yeah.
just some little happy trees here. But I bet he goes home and he's just a freaking maniac. I bet he's like
Why?
domestically abusing his wife. I bet.
Why?
Because, weirdos like that, they do that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Well-
They paint little happy trees, and then they go home, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's.
Casey looks concerned.
I don't want to hear
I
that.
think he's a freaking.
I don't
I think
think-
he's a maniac.
Why would he be?
I don't
He
know.
wouldn't be like that.
I don't know, maybe.
You're thinking of
bet the dude likes-
what do you call the guy?
I bet he sleeps with nothing but socks on. He's like that kind of guy. He's like, time to go to bed. I better put my knee-high sock pajamas on, and that's all he wears.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he would wear. Yeah, I really don't
Look at
know.
his eyes, though. Dude's a maniac.
Maybe he's the next Ted Bundy.
He's dead though, isn't he?
Bob Ross?
Yeah, I thought he died.
What? I don't know.
Maybe he didn't die.
Wrong guy to ask is me. Looks like a guy. Yeah, I don't know. Could be from anywhere. Waco.
I don't know. He looks like the dude that, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be alone with him in an alley. That's all I know for sure.
That's pretty crazy, doesn't he?
Yeah. Happy little trees.
Yeah.
Actually with a paintbrush.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
You know who was crazy? O.J. Simpson.
You watch his Twitter videos?
No, I do
He
not.
puts out a video every single day on Twitter giving like little his 2 cents on like current news.
Hopefully
and
he would just say
Every day
"Shut
he
up,
starts
OJ."
it the same way. He goes, "Hello Twitter world. Hello Twitter world. You
He would
see what's
just
going
say,
on with this?"
Shut up, OJ. Is that what people say? Like, what do
Yeah,
people say
everyone
then?
does.
Or
Like
just say, "You're
if
the
you look
king,
at the
OJ."
if you look at the subtweets, they all somehow refer back to him killing his wife. He's like, "Hello Twitter world. can you believe what happened here? And they'd be like, we
I
can't believe that
killed your
you
wife."
killed your wife. Then wrote a book about how you didn't kill her, but if you did, this is what you would do.
And then I went to jail after again for like armed robbery and stuff and
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. Wow.
He's a
What a
psychopath.
disgrace
Hello,
that was.
Twitter
Did
world.
that's a really good show to watch on Netflix, that O.J. Simpson thing.
I've never seen it.
It's really good. The People
Juice.
versus O.J. Simpson.
The juice. We better wrap. What are we at for time right now, Casey?
We got to wrap it
Hour
up.
15.
Woo! This is the longest episode I've had.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How long was the last one?
Johnny and I went, I think we went
You
hour
said 106 or something?
7,
Oh.
I thought. Something like that. So this is the longest. We went
Yeah.
off. Do you feel you comfortable with the subjects that we covered today?
Yeah, I am.
You got any last?
It's been a
You
pretty
got
good
like any
spread.
last little snippets
No,
that you
I don't
wanna?
think I do, dude. Let me
squeeze in
just
there?
see what I had on there, but I think I only had
Because I mean, we can squeeze it to an hour and a half if you want to get 10 more minutes of something in there.
a couple of things.
I'm sure for anyone who may be
Elite
watching
Society, we talked about women dating and kids. Didn't talk about the kids thing, but that doesn't really matter. Do you think college will be a thing in 20
this.
years?
Ooh, we never covered that.
We didn't cover that?
We never talked about college at all.
Oh,
We'll
we didn't.
save that one though.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have
think
you on
that's,
again. We'll
That ties into like there's like 3 or 4 other things I want to
we'll
talk
talk about that
around
again. I'll soon probably I'll start having repeat people on because you know
Well,
'cause
yeah, we can wait.
an
for
hour
that.
goes by fast. So
Yeah.
keep that list. We'll cover it
TV
again.
shows can be-
But you
Yeah,
got you got like a social media or something like that you wanna push out there? You want
I don't, man.
anybody get a hold of
No,
you somewhere?
Actually, I've got nothing I want anybody to get a hold of
Just
me
leave
on.
me alone.
Yeah.
Do you like it when I
uh,
imitate your Irish accent, or is that
Yeah,
insulting?
it's actually not the worst. Most people can't do it at all. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because I don't know what it is. There's something about our don't know what you would call that, phonetic dialect, something around that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It seems very hard for people to replicate, to be honest. Yeah,
It
and
is difficult.
yours isn't that bad.
Okay.
Not that bad. As in, I don't know if I've ever heard anybody get even another closer.
Oh, all right. So
Well,
that might be the best.
I don't know if anybody has. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not easy to do. So I know anyway. No, I wouldn't get offended. No.
I think it kind of like at the end of each word that you say, there's almost like a little loop on it. Like I kind of vision. It sounds like you're
Well, my
speaking
voice
in.
has changed over a while too. You know
think?
what I'm saying? Yeah,
It sort of
my
sounds like
voice
you're
is-
speaking in cursive. I think a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like I say we. Maybe it doesn't happen to everybody, but yeah, as a regular thing, yeah, I kind of words trill into the next kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit more souped in.
Yeah. It's a little. That's a little more.
Just rolls off the tongue a little bit.
it kinda-
It also is the fact with how many pints you have in a day.
Yeah.
So if you have like 5 or 6, then that's kind of goes.
I know. For me, it's like the more Guinness I'm drinking, probably the more that
Yeah,
I'm going
but
to
see,
be
that's
speaking
like-
like this.
That's like that, like southern, like Republic of Ireland.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. People can do that sometimes, but not like what mine is.
From Belfast.
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 Fuck.
Don't forget to look up Casey if you need any videography work done. Casey Flips and PFLI.
Get this guy on the camera
PSEN.
soon.
Find him on Facebook. Yeah, Casey, I got to get you on camera one of these days. You want to be on camera one of these days?
Or at least a
I'll
microphone.
do a microphone. Just
At least
start.
a mic.
Yeah, we'll start with a mic.
Let's keep it a mystery.
Maybe something like that. Yeah, I'll keep Casey a mystery unless you need any videography work done.
Yeah.
Once again, if you're watching this, subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends about it. I think a lot of people forget, but I'm also on Spotify. I'm on iTunes. Not yet, but that's only because I'm dyslexic. And I can't figure out how to frickin' do it! What is going on? Somebody,
wrong?
I don't
Have you
know.
been trying since?
No.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
It can't be that hard.
Probably. I don't know.
on,
I
man.
get so set off by the smallest things. I got to tell one quick story. Yesterday,
On this iTunes thing? Is that
Yeah.
what's pissing you off? Is that what you're
iTunes
saying?
is, yeah. But it's just something about like little nitpicky. I have no patience at all. I'm so impatient, and I have a tough time concentrating. I have a deficiency in attention. It's actually a disorder. It's called attention deficit disorder.
I heard of it once or twice. Yeah.
So like when something, just the smallest thing goes wrong, like we had a new technology that we're trying to put into place in our office, in my real estate office, and something went wrong with it yesterday, and I just I flipped out, but I didn't want anybody to know that I flipped out. So I kind of got up and I started doing laps around the office. I was trying to keep a cool head. I was just like, I was like, Gage.
Losing it.
I was trying to be logical, but I'm like, Gage, just think about it. Take deep
keep it-
breaths.
keep
I'm like,
it
it's not
together.
that big of a deal. And then like I walked by some lady and she was she was like, Gage, you look tense. She's like, what's going on? And I don't know why I did this, but I sat down on the ground and I was like, Christy, I'm in an emotional canoe right now and I'm trying not to tip over. I don't know why I did it. It was so dumb. But
Yeah, you are an eccentric guy.
I sat down on the ground and I was like,
You are an eccentric guy. Like, if I was in an office, bro, and I see you do that, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I don't know. You got to keep it fresh. You got to.
I would go over there and I would rip you out of it. Kids, put the shop together.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, and then you'd be fine. And I get that. Bro.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, what the fuck am I seeing
What is
here?
going
What
on?
is this guy doing?
Why did I pretend that I was in a canoe for a little bit? I just don't know.
It's like, yeah, and here we are.
I don't have any control over what's going
We're
on.
right back to it.
I know. All right, we gotta. This is getting. Casey, what are we at? Final time here.
This was fun, bro.
An hour and 20.
This is a hell of fun. This was hell of fun. Hour 20. All right, one more high five, and then we're out of here. Nice work, Benjamin.
Yeah, that's top.
That was
bro.
a good
Yeah,
pod.
That's a really good
That was
podcast,
a good
bro.
podski.